Welcome to the John Brown University Chapel podcast, recorded in the historic Cathedral of the Ozarks in Siloam Springs, Arkansas. This week's chapel speaker was Lakisha Bradley. Lakisha teaches interdisciplinary studies at JBU. She's also the CEO and founder of Mighty by Design, a painting with a purpose mobile service that combines technology, conversation, leadership, and personal development training.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Can y'all hear me? Can you hear me? Good morning, beautiful faces. How y'all doing? Y'all hear my southern twang? Yes, so thank you, Dr. Song, for this opportunity, Dr. Tracy. I also want to give thanks to Dr. Pollard and just everyone, Keith, everyone that has allowed me to come up here and do this. Again, when I talk about the unexpected and how God works. So, a little bit about me and this journey that God has placed me on. The topic for today is about being a champion of your sound, a champion of my sound, and how you have to give God the glory through the power of your story. See, when you look at me, I don't look like what I've been through, and I sure don't smell like smoke. But I've been through a lot. Growing up in Southwest Arkansas in a small town called Louisville, where statistics would say, small town, you ain't gonna make it. In an area where opportunity lacked, to going to attending the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff and, trying to learn my way and educate my way through college and then into Walmart in Georgia. I never would have thought this is where God would take me. But I want to start with this. How many of y'all, by the show of hands, have ever had the whispers? Y'all like, what is she even talking about? Have you ever had a whisper before where you have something telling you you're supposed to be doing something, but you said, no, I'm comfortable, I'm good. Okay, now y'all know what I'm talking about. Well, the whisper happened to me. Now, mind y'all, like I said, I attended the University of Arkansas, Pine Bluff, HBCU, and I was interning with Walmart. So y'all, I worked my way up. So from working in store operations to cleaning floors, checking associates out, customers out, to running stores, to leading stores, to coming into the home office and working in several different capacities. I enjoyed what I did. I'll tell you, I bled blue. If people knew me, literally I bled blue. Because even if you needed that line to get down and be short in the store because it's too long, I knew who to call to even help get that done. That was like my pride and joy. But then all of a sudden, in 2016, that whisper became a really, really loud roar. And I tried to ignore it so many times because the whisper kept saying, it's time to go. And I said, I started at $9.10 an hour, and I done worked my way up. I'm able to help my family and my family. No, and the whisper still kept saying, it's time to go. I said, no, you don't understand. I got 4 more years, and I'm going to get my lifetime discount card with Walmart. But it was still like, it's time to go. I said, but wait, no. I just got an exceeds expectation on my eval. You know, about to get another bonus. No. And then all of a sudden, that roar came in. And when the roar came, all I could do was stop and listen. So on August 18th, 2016 at 7:08, I still have the text in my phone. I'm driving So I live in Fayetteville, and I'm driving commute on my way to Bentonville, to the home office. All of a sudden, traffic comes to a halt. A halt. And then a voice comes. And it said, I'm placing a shift in your life. And I'll share with you the rest of the message from there on this video. But the great thing about the end of the message that God started speaking while I'm in the car, and I'm like, oh my God. And I tell people, you're not supposed to, text and drive. But in that moment, God was so strategic. He stopped traffic, y'all. He stopped traffic. And I said, oh my God, okay, I need to document this. So let me text it to myself. And so that's what I did. I sent it to myself, and I looked down and I read it. I said, oh, I gotta go. So I want to share with you. So on September 16 of 2016, I took a leap. One of the scariest things I've ever did in my life. In the beginning, I went to my senior vice president of apparel strategy, and I said, hey, I got to put my 2 weeks in. He looked at me like I was crazy. And then I showed him the message. And he said, you'll be all right. And y'all, I can't explain it because, again, I'm scared because I'm like, all the stuff that I had, I'm about to let go. But when he said, you'll be all right, and I guess it was just God using him in that time to give me peace, there was a peace that lifted up off of me. So my boss, she came in later, and I said, hey, I got to put my 2 weeks notice in. She was like, what, where are you going, to another team? I said, no, I got to go. I shared the same thing, the text message to her. And she said, you know what? I can't fight that. If anything, just give me 4 weeks. And that's what ended up happening. On September 16 of 2016, I leave. But that morning, I chose to do something that was still outside of my comfort zone. I filmed myself on my way to going into the office to wrap up my day. And so I want to share with you the message that God shared with me. I have a message that I want to share that I know that is much greater than me, and that it is to help someone else that I received. Today, after 16 years, I've decided to make a transition from my current career with Walmart and move into my passion and my purpose in truly focusing on the community and helping others within the community. Walmart has been a great company for me and has allowed me to be able to build a platform to enable a lot of doors to come open and be able to help others. And I'm grateful for that. So this is something new and different for me, but I'm just going to trust God and allow him to order my steps. But what I want to share with you is, before I made this decision, I had to go into a lot of prayer and fasting. And I never really did a true fast before. And I'll tell you, God is so powerful. He made it plain for me. And the message that he shared with me is much greater. And so I want to share this with you all, and I hope that it helps you as you continue to decide or understand where your next journey is in life. So here's the message. It's time to make that move, my child. I'm going to place a new shift in your life. Trust in me, and I will show you the way. I am the Lord thy God, the Alpha and the Omega. Do thy will and walk in thy purpose on earth, and I shall reward thee. Trouble won't last always, and joy cometh in the morning. Haven't I shown thee many times before? Walk blindly with me, and I will guide your path. I will show my manifestation in glory. I will wipe the tears and darkness from your eyes. Do my will and watch me work. Now walk in faith and not by your sight. Renewed and stronger marriage, financial blessings, immaculate businesses, restored children and family of faith, restored children and family of faith and love, covered by the renewed mind and solid foundation of your husband. This is bigger than just one person. Many will be affected by this. Now go forth. So this is what God shared with me a few weeks ago on my way to work. And it was so powerful, and I didn't want to forget it as it was coming to me that I had to put it in my phone. Oops. Sorry about that. So I wanted to make sure that I shared that with you all, and I hope that it becomes a blessing to you. And I'm sorry I dropped my phone too. Becomes a blessing to you, or that you are able to share it with someone else and help bless them. 1:30 today, I'll be signing my exit papers and walking in my purpose passionately and excited. I know it won't be easy. It wasn't easy for Jesus. But as long as I got God on my side, I'll be all right. So just wanted to share that, and I hope you all have a wonderful rest of today. 2016. So when God speaks, my message to you is move. Know that it may not be easy. It ain't gonna be easy. But know that He has a strategic plan and purpose in place for you. And in this moment, it's just all about being obedient. So on that day when I signed my papers, y'all, I cried all the way home. I did. I cried because I'm like, what's next? What am I going to do? And I remember putting my kids on the bus and stuff, and that's when, like that Monday, my journey really started. And I started learning a whole lot about myself in that moment. I became really angry. I was angry at my kids. I was angry at my husband. I was angry at my sister. I was angry at myself. And God had to take me through a journey to understand where this anger was really coming from. It was because I had lost my identity. At the time, I placed my value and my worth in a company that I still bleed blue for, but I put it in that, and I forgot the uniqueness and the beauty that God created and planted in me. And He had to bring me back to that. And so as I was going through my healing, I said, you know what, let me pick the paintbrush back up, something that I put on the shelf many years ago that my dad, he taught me how to paint. And when I picked the paintbrush back up, I said, you know what, let me paint this dream that I had when I was 15 years old. And in the dream, I remember seeing, like, the sky was blood red, it was dark, people hiding under rocks and bushes. And Jesus was standing like this. Well, it was in the air just like this. Arms wide open. And I was leading people into His church. And I always said, one day I'm going to paint it. Well, God made that happen. And so as I started painting this, revelation started coming to me. Healing started happening with me. Mighty by Design was being born. Now, when people first started coming into my house and stuff, they'd be like, what you doing with this white Jesus? I was like, what? I'm like, He ain't white. It was like, yes, He is. I'm like, no. I said, I couldn't paint Him. The reason why I couldn't paint Him, because in the dream, He was light. And it took actually a couple of years later for God to give me the next revelation of even the painting. See, Jesus said, don't focus on the color of my skin. Focus on my character and what I did and what I'm doing right now, the content of my character. How are we moving like Jesus? Keisha, how are you moving like Jesus? How are you moving like me? And so that became my message. And like I said, then after that, Mighty started being born. So just like I heard it that day with the car and everything and stuff, I started hearing other things. And the things I started hearing was Mighty by design. I'm like, what? What is that? It was like, let it sit. Okay. Imperfectly painting with purpose. Huh? Just like I'm talking to you all, this is how God started speaking to me. And then he started giving me the mission, the vision, and the plan. And all I knew what I had to do was just be obedient. So my obedience started with going to Dwelling Place Church, wanting to host what I call conversation and paint workshops for the youth, to teach them how to be bold and brave. But through this conversation that we have in a no judgment zone, where you feel safe, that you can bring your raw, authentic truth, because that's when healing starts. That then we go and you paint. And after you've painted through this music and this experience, you leave with a conversation piece. And when you leave with this conversation piece, you're going out and you're telling the story about how good God is. But in order for me to get there, I had to power through my fears. My fears of being able to speak in front of people. My fears of worrying about being judged. My fears of just all kinds of just stuff. I had to learn how to power through that, and it's just doing it. And so I started doing that at Dwelling Place Church, which then opened doors to be able to transition into going into the juvenile detention centers, into assisted living facilities, to community paint nights, and to many other spaces throughout. A lot of the spaces where God told me to go. One of those being, at the time it was called Cafe and Bob, now 612 Coffee House and Bar. You're like, she in a bar? With aprons on, they got a heart with a cross as the brush on it, talking about the Lord. And they made dances to some Tupac. Yeah. Because it is about the ministry. It's about no judgment. It's about going into these spaces and places, connecting with those people to let them know that you are loved. It's about going in there, letting people know that they are and you are mighty by God's design. There are unique gifts that is placed within you, but it starts with you believing in yourself in order for it to come out. We're all mighty by God's design. Now, is life perfect? Is it? No. We got our good days, bad days, roundabouts, and all of the above. But through the process, we're creating our own personal masterpiece on purpose. And because it's through God, because he's our ultimate creator, you're perfect. You are mighty. You are mighty. And so, like I said, Mighty was born. What is my mission? Our mission is to restore the community by helping individuals and families see their value and know their worth. See your value, know your worth. See your value and know your worth. During the process, as I'm going out and I'm working in these juvenile detention centers, working with youth, working with kids that are on probation, working with just individuals through this outlet of creativity, through art and expression, and this healing that started taking place, I said, wait a minute, this is starting to feel like counseling. I said, now my background is HR, and I'm like, wait a minute, there's something feels like there's some boundaries. So I started exploring colleges, places that I can do art therapy. What I discovered was there's no art therapy in the state of Arkansas in this area that's close. So I said, well, what's next to that? And that was being a counselor. So yes, like Dr. Song mentioned, I'm a graduate here at JBU in the counseling realm. focused on getting my LPC license with the emphasis in play therapy so that I can expand my reach and being able to help others heal through art and the canvas. Seeing your value, knowing your worth. It starts with this. God can't bless who you pretend to be. And that's something that I had to learn through this process. God said, I took my time to create you. You, because there's an assignment that you have that can't no one else do but you. And when I heard this, one of my clients, they came into the studio one day and we were just talking and just praising the Lord. We get into our little praise and worship through the painting and stuff. And she shared that with me and I said, whoa. This is Monique Jones. She's another huge advocate in the community in Fayetteville. God cannot bless who you pretend to be. I know for me, there was a lot of times I was over here trying to be like this other. And it's okay to be inspired by someone, but just remember who you are. That's when God really started showing out in my life. Now, like I said, has it been easy? No. But is it worth it? Yes. He's growing me in ways that I never would have thought of. And I'm thankful for these opportunities to be grown and to give him the glory through the story, my story. And so I want to share with you where God has taken me now. Because at the end of the day, I don't even want, while I'm standing up here, y'all, I don't want it to be about me. I'm hoping that you see beyond me and just see the Holy Spirit's light. I've asked myself, I've been up since 4:30. Lord, help me. Let me die to thyself. I don't want no type of ego. I don't want nothing like that on stage. All I wanted them to see is you. And so through the obedience, God has shown me things that's beyond my own personal measure of how just being obedient and connecting with others, that he can really do some immaculate work. And so I want to share this second video with you all.
Actually, the business found me. It was part of my own personal healing and my own walk and journey that the gift of Mighty by Design was planted inside of me to do more within, not just beyond myself, but more into the community and with others, to utilize art as a gateway of healing. My name is Lakisha Bradley, and I'm the founder of Mighty by Design Therapeutic Art Studios. In 2017, I actually launched this company mobily, traveling out into the community, started at the church at Dwelling Place here in Fayetteville, Arkansas, where I only wanted to just do it with the youth and the kids there. And the spark that I saw from the kids transitioned from Dwelling Place into the Juvenile Detention Centers, Benton County Probation, into 612 Coffee House and Bar Community Paint Nights, to assisted living facilities, and now today, a therapeutic art studio that we have here in Fayetteville. When people come, the intentions is that you leave the world outside and you allow your heart to be free. You walk into a space that is a no judgment zone, but a zone, a space, and a place that is filled with love, empowerment, music, oh gosh, all kinds of different types of therapeutic experiences to help people to heal through that process and really moving into the next realm of what we call seeing your value and knowing your worth. So I started learning about art and paint when I was very young. My dad taught me. So he taught me about like still lifes and, shadowing and all these different things and stuff. And, my ultimate goal one day, I actually wanted to become like an artist. And I remember one time my grandmother saying, you can't be an artist because you're not going to make no money with that. You need to go be a secretary. And I'm like, I'm not going to be no secretary. I want to be an artist. I ended up, going to college at University of Arkansas, Pine Bluff, and graduated from college, and then ended up working for Walmart, starting a company, worked my way all the way up to the position that I was in. I mean, I've unloaded trucks, cleaned bathrooms, you name it, I did that. In 2016, I kept getting this whisper, and the whisper was, it's time to go. And I said, I'm loving what I'm doing. I'm comfortable. I'm working too hard through this company. To leave? Me? No. I was like, I got 4 more years to go, and I'm going to have my lifetime discount card because I'm going to be with Walmart for 20 years. But this whisper still kept coming like, it's time to go. And I fought it and fought it and fought it until one day, honestly, I couldn't fight it anymore. When I took that leap, and I remember that Monday, I had to put my kids on that bus. And I'm sitting on these steps and I'm like, oh Lord, what am I about to do? How are we going to make it financially? Lord, what do you have me doing? And I started questioning a lot of things. And I started hating myself. I hated how I looked. I hated who I was. I didn't understand. I'm like, what can I bring to the table? Because my brand was Walmart. I knew that if I can go in there and I give my best, I would be rewarded for that. And in that moment, God had to strip me. He stripped me naked. I didn't have nothing to lean on but Him. And as I was going through this journey of self-discovery, because I'm like, Lord, I got all this time on my hands. What is this? I said, I'm going to start back painting. Through that process, when Mighty was born, is when I started this next life, this next journey. And I was like, wow, what this did for me, how can I help others through that? And that's what empowered it. Has it been easy? No. But has it been worth it? Hell yeah. And I'm thankful for this process. And I'm thankful for the people that I've been able to connect with, the lives that have been able to heal through this process, and the people who've been able to feel empowered to see their value and know their worth, and to know that they are mighty by design. What we do is very unique. It is different. Through, we may be, vibing to some Tupac or anything like that, to Christian music, to just a plain soft tones background. But through that process, if it's through a workshop, if it's a community paint night, through